Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of 20SomethingsTV. My name is Michael. I'm joined here with Brian, Lionel, Macy, and our special guest, Keith, for this last episode of this season. Today, we're going to be covering some important topics. Obviously, there's still a lot going on in the world as 2020 is coming to an end, thankfully. Without further ado, let's get started. Lionel, election update as always. What the hell is going on?
Well, before I get into my topic, I'd just like to give a really big shout out to our good friend Keith Brown for being our special guest tonight. Frankly, we could make this whole show about Keith, but we've got news to talk about instead. So thank you, Keith, and it's so good to see your beautiful face.
Thank you,
So,
Lionel.
all right, so here's the lowdown with the election. After weeks of Trump trying to undermine our democratic institutions and filing baseless lawsuits against state governments where Biden beat him by narrow margins, what we finally saw today was Biden officially, the Electoral College convened and voted for Biden. So Biden has over 270 Electoral College votes, which means he's going to be the next president. He's won, at least according to our democratic institutions in our system. So what I want to ask all of you here tonight is, do you think there's any chance whatsoever that Trump could do something insane to try and cling to power? Let me put it in a less biased way. Do you think there's any chance Trump could stick around for another 4 years?
Well, what could he do, Lionel? What is possible? I mean, I know it's hell, but what's he going to do? Chain himself to the desk in the Oval Office?
No, he's been firing Pentagon officials and replacing them with loyalists. So at this point, it's like he declares martial law and stages some kind of military dictatorship. Which, by the way, if any of you are familiar with Michael Flynn, a former Trump administration person and proud URI alum, that's not a joke.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously, Michael Flynn went
I didn't know that either.
So he retweeted this far right crazy tweet that the Proud Boys and other far right groups are calling on Trump to declare martial law and enact emergency powers to stay in office. So Michael Flynn basically endorsed that. So there are some fringe extremists who are lobbying for Trump to do something really drastic like that. So I'll be totally honest, I don't think it's likely, but I don't think it's impossible either. I think we've seen just how far this guy is willing to go to cling to power, and also that other Republican senators are staying silent about the election despite how he's clearly lost. So I don't think it's out of the question at all. I'm asking you guys. Now you guys gotta tell me. Do you think
I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't have much to say. I'm kind of very black and white in my mind. I'm not good at seeing the gray areas of things, but I don't think so. I mean, he's made a fool of himself in many ways, but I don't think he'd take it this far to really. I hope, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not too concerned about that.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Michael. I'm also in the same spot. I try not to see the gray. I'm very black and white. And yes, he has made a fool of himself. And I think surprisingly, he has a limit where he's just like, okay, I'm done. I lost fair and square. There's nothing else I can do, even though he's tried many other things. I think he's finally done.
I'm with Michael and Macy on this one. I feel like Trump should honestly just understand that he lost the election and do anything to get it back to get his country going. Just accept it, Obviously, it's hard to lose, but you just don't want to see another outrage. Because we've already seen enough this year with everything going on in the world. So, election, let it just be settled. Joe Biden won. Let's just hope, that's coming for America.
I think that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go.
I was just saying. I think that since he's spoken about, running again in 2024, I think that's almost like his way of saying, I acknowledge this loss and I'm not going to be here for the next 4 years, even though he hasn't really totally cut and dry said that yet. But I think that helps make this decision towards, I don't think he's going to be around for the next 4 years.
Do you think he is causing all this trouble because he really believes that he won, or that he really just doesn't have a personality to admit loss?
He
Or,
won't admit loss. I don't think he's
Do you
Donald
think he
Trump.
do you think he really thinks that he didn't win? Do you think he really comes to that conclusion that he didn't win?
this could just be another publicity stunt, right? I mean, it
Yeah,
could
I
be.
think he's evil. I don't think he's crazy. I think there's a difference. I think everything he does is out of choice. I think Trump is actually very intelligent. I don't like he is borderline delusional, but I don't think his like manic behavior, I think it stems more from like extreme egomania than, he's so delusioned that he genuinely thinks that like the deep state is like trying to out him or something. So,
So what do we do? Just wait and see?
yep.
Well, look, you didn't give your input other than the chain to desk method. What do you think is going to happen?
I feel like in this climate, it's very hard to anticipate anything at this point. We can't anticipate what where we will be next week with things. I feel like it's hard to plan anything. I don't know. It's very hard to put your finger on the pulse of anything nowadays, I feel. I mean, I do feel that we haven't really been hearing from him. I mean, in just the mainstream media, I haven't really heard about his what he's saying as much as I did before, the election happened. But I don't know. I agree with Lionel. I wouldn't put anything past because a lot of the things that he's done in the past, we would never have thought somebody in the position of president would have done, you know. But I don't know. You know,
Funny.
I mean, part of me feels like until the inauguration, anything could happen. But then after the inauguration, could anything still happen?
I hope not.
I would hope not either.
I don't think so.
Would he?
I don't know.
Is he going to go to the inauguration?
I doubt it. Some people are saying that he might not even come back from Mar-a-Lago, Florida, after the holiday season's done.
Yeah.
I guess we just kind of have to wait and see what's going to happen. I mean, it's interesting because this was a topic that before we had the election, it was such a hot topic and still is. But I feel like it was getting the main spotlight, and COVID almost got the back burner. Not that COVID disappeared, but we were more focused on the election than COVID. And now that the election is finished, and there hasn't been much from the president right now. Biden and Harris are, they're speaking a lot. They're doing a lot of not campaigning, but they're doing rallies. I don't know what they're called still. But now the spotlight's kind of shifting back towards COVID again, especially because we may be at a pivotal point with the vaccine. There's a lot going on the COVID front. Brian, what's going on?
All right, thank you, Michael. So if you guys know, the COVID-19 vaccine has been distributed in the U.S. to all 50 states. Like in New York and Rhode Island and other places, the doses have been given out to first responders. So I believe the vaccine has been approved by Friday night, and then distribution has been sent out right away. So we're getting ready. But in Rhode Island, we have 4 phases of how the COVID-19 vaccine will be distributed. So in phase 1, it'll be first responders and elderly. In phase 2, will be essential workers or people with health issues. Phase 3 will be young adults and children, and then phase 4 will be everyone else involved in it. And as usual, as with COVID going on in Rhode Island, Governor Gina decided to extend the pause for another week, which is happening right now. We are in week of Rhode Island pause. And for this reason, it's because of the surges rising in cases and hospitalization, with 74,071 cases in Rhode Island and 433 hospitalized for this week. It's a lot. And according to this website called Publix Radio, and it says Rhode Island has reported the highest number of new coronavirus cases per capita over the last 7 days than anywhere in the country. That's just crazy. Rhode Island being number 1 is just crazy. Small state. I think we definitely part of this week is worth it. And what's crazier in that is that our Rhode Island Health Department leader, Dr. Nicole Alexander Scott, she tested positive for the coronavirus, which is crazy. But the news report has said that she's currently asymptomatic. So right now she's quarantined at home. Well, some of you asked, what about Governor Gina? How is she doing? Well, it's been reported on Saturday that she tested negative for the virus, but she was still asked to remain quarantined for like another like 7 to 10 days. So let's hope they're okay, and we hope that Dr. Cole recovers quickly. The last time they saw her was Thursday, which they happened the brief meeting about the COVID-19 update. So I think it's crazy. My question for you guys is: now that the vaccine has been distributed, will the cases surges go down when this happens?
Well, it seems like it's going to take a while, right? Like, so it said like us normal people, because even though I'm a teacher, I'm not K through 12, and those people have get it before. I'm just part of the general population. It seems like that as it stands right now, correct me if I'm wrong, that like we wouldn't get it till like April maybe or May,
I
somewhere around.
think they said that the goal was to have everyone vaccinated by the summer. I think because they
Yeah,
laid
they
out a map.
Yeah, they said late spring, early summer.
But you know, so I follow the local news on social media, and I find that those people who comment on there sometimes are a bit extreme. And you know, there's a lot of people that are very afraid of getting the vaccine because they think there's something. Well, there's people that think something sinister is going on, right? That like Bill Gates is putting a tracker in the vaccine and they're going to inject us, and then you know people will know things they're not supposed to know. And then a lot of people are afraid of the side effects or the fact that this was really rushed. I mean, I'm just looking now. This woman must be fake. Her name is Tracy Van Beaver. Is that really somebody's name? I can't believe that it would be. But she basically says that she's going to wear a mask for the rest of her life. She's not putting poison in her body. They say if you're pregnant, do not take it if you are breastfeeding because you have no idea what the mother could pass to their unborn child. So, I mean, there's all these unknowns. And I know there's some other people saying, well, I'm glad the first responders and the K through 12 teachers are getting it first because we'll see what side effects or what happens with those people before it gets to us. You know, so I don't know how you guys feel about that in regards to are you afraid of something bad happening to you because you take this vaccine?
I think that it's interesting to hear different people's opinions on that because I personally, yeah, I mean, I'm a little hesitant just thinking about the potential side effects long term that we don't know about yet. But other than that, I don't believe any of the Bill Gates is going to track me crap. But I know a lot of people that do have that mindset. I have a good amount of people that are either afraid of being tracked, they're afraid they're going to get some sort of cancer from it later in life, that are refusing to get it. And I had this discussion with someone because I need to get it for my job. I'm supposed to get it in a week or two. And if I don't get it, I can't work. It's like the flu shot. I have to have the flu shot to be able to go to work. And I asked one of my friends, I said, what would you do if your job depended on you getting the shot? And he said, I would lose my job. I am not getting that shot. So I think personally, that's something I would never do. And I think it's pretty insane that people have that mindset. I'm just curious where this mindset of people are going to track me is even coming from to begin with. So
I think the whole tracking thing is really funny too, because it's like we all have smartphones. Like that's literally a tracking device that we carry around everywhere that like listens to our conversations and like personalizes our ads based on it. But even just as far as like getting the vaccine goes, like yeah, don't get me wrong, putting any kind of like you know fucking foreign ass vaccine in your body is like kind of scary, but America, which is supposedly the richest country in the world, is also losing the most amount of people, you know, to COVID, which is disastrous and shameful. So I think a lot of that is because Americans are so like distrusting of the government to a fault that we'd rather like see our countrymen die in huge numbers than like suck it up, wear a mask, stay inside, take the vaccine. So, you know, I just want to take this thing to do my part and, you know, hopefully we can just finally start like getting our act together as a country because it's nothing short of shameful how far we've fallen just with dealing with COVID.
Yeah, I agree. I believe that I would just take this vaccine to do my part. Also, a lot of people are like worried about side effects and everything, but everyone's body's different. You can react badly to the flu shot, and they're still giving that out. I've never experienced a bad symptom, but I know my sister has, my mom has, and I mean, they're still with me today, but it's just vaccines are going to affect people differently. Not everyone's built the same. So I know people are worried about it. Like maybe some people have bad backgrounds with vaccines and everything, and it worries them. I totally understand that, but they're like kind of putting it on everyone else. Like, oh my God, that's gonna happen to me. Like, no, your body's not the same as hers or
I
that.
also feel like a lot of those side effects aren't like they're not long term. Like I've never gotten sick from the flu vaccine, but I think was it the meningitis vaccine? I got one last year and I did get sick. I got a fever. I was sick for like a week, but I knew that's what it was from. But I got better and now I'm going to be okay. I just feel like if you have to suck it up and suffer for a few days or a week to be safe for the long run so that I can go hug my grandparents again and maybe have hopes of not having to wear a mask again, I think that's the least you can do. And if you have a genuine issue or a genuine concern, consult your doctor. And if your doctor says not to get it, then fine. But if you're just going based off of what people are commenting on Facebook, that is not a good reason to not get the vaccine.
But I don't know if they're really afraid of it because they might have a bad reaction to the drug at first, because right, they're saying that now you are going to have a reaction, right? That it's in 2 doses and that it's probably going to make you feel sick. I think people are more concerned that you take this now and then 5 years down the road, are they going to figure out, oh, this thing causes this problem with either this population or, like this said, like babies can't be exposed to it because it's too much, something along those lines. I think people are more concerned about the unknown because people feel that this was rushed really quickly into production and there could be a long-term effect.
I don't know much about vaccines, the scientific aspect of them. I feel like I should, but I don't. Isn't a vaccine generally like the actual disease of some sort, like some strain, but in like a really small dose, right?
I think it comes from it comes from the problem itself, right? Because isn't it when you get the flu vaccine, they sort of give
It's
you
like injecting you the flu.
they give you a little bit of flu.
Wouldn't you assume that the risk that we have right now of catching COVID and then having health, because you can have health implications later in life from having COVID now that we don't know about either.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's almost like it's comparing the lesser of two evils almost. Like either way, we're probably going to end up with it eventually. Why not do this now so we can save some people's lives? I mean, I don't know. What I've heard from the
our loyal
Peanut gallery.
Did you just read what she
I just read that.
Can you read that out loud? Because
Yes.
I want to vomit.
Yes, the Peanut Gallery. Thank you, Quigs. This is interesting. It said that the first vaccines back in the day were actually ground up scabs of infected people that they then proceeded to shoot up your nose.
With a long pole.
You think the COVID test is bad now. You're not getting like a rod shoved up your nose with someone's scab when they fell in their driveway a few weeks ago.
But then I read something the other day too, that the vaccine might not prevent you from getting COVID, but it might just prevent you from getting symptoms of COVID. So
That's what you're going to get with a vaccine that was made in just several weeks instead of years.
yeah, I mean, but then again, right? Like what Michael was saying, what's the alternative?
Yeah,
Stay in our house for 20 years.
I don't know. I just think this again, that comes back to striking that balance between our physical well-being and our mental well-being. And I think that if you can't view this vaccine as a step in the right direction for your physical health, you have to acknowledge that it's a step in the right direction for everyone's mental well-being.
The vaccine doesn't because I've been hearing rumors about if you want to travel, you have to get the vaccine. I'm like, what kind of a rumor is this? Like, is this true or not?
But I think, Brian, it's tough now because there's so much information out there, and it's like you have to be able to assess whether it's real or just some person is writing it because, like, the person that I read today was like, Bill Gates put something in the vaccine, and then he's like, here's the proof, and it's just a picture of some text. It's like, I could have written that text, took a picture of it, and posted it in the line too, but that doesn't mean there's any research behind it, right? So I think the challenge now is like we really need to ignore these people that aren't quoting any reputable sources, right? Because I could put something crazy out online, and if you read it, it could scare you. And I think that's the tough thing because everybody thinks they're the expert,
Yeah, we've gotten to a point where socially we believe everything we see the instant we see it, and like you said, Keith, anyone can write anything. But I feel like people are doing more harm than good, even if you truly believe something that you're writing, unless you're positively certain about it, you could just be scaring other people away from what's right for them. So I think that's a whole societal issue. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But listen, we've taken up a good chunk of time with the COVID discussion. I want to get this last topic in before we wrap it up. New Year's 2020. Obviously, usually a lot going on. This might not be the year for that. Maybe it is. I'm not sure. Macy, what do you got?
Well, we all know the New Year's will not be the same this year. We've covered that a lot of times. The New York City Ball Drop will be virtual for performers, and they'll be singing from their locations unless they were invited to come sing on the stage. So there's only a few of them, but I know some performers like Sam Hunt and Alanis Morissette. That's what I'm saying.
I love her.
They're going to be in New York, but then people like Megan Thee Stallion and Ava Max is in Los Angeles, Sheryl Crow and Usher are in New Orleans, and the Jonas Brothers are in Miami. The other artists that are on this list, they don't have where they're going to be, so I'm assuming they'll be in New York or from their home. But either way, I know some people are just going to be all around the country tuning in, so you can enjoy it from the comfort of your home as well. Since we all know New Year's isn't the same this year, that doesn't mean New Year's resolutions can't happen. So I have a fun question. Do you guys have a New Year's resolution in mind? If you do, what is it?
I would just forget about everything that happened pre-COVID, because like if I remember, like COVID happened, like it was a chance for us to like reflect on life and just do whatever you can, forget about past hurts or anything, which is something I kind of don't do because But I think it's the best for me this year is just kind of like for 2021, just step and realize what's real in life. Obviously, that we're getting old, like you're gonna start realizing who your real friends are, like what's gonna be your life after college. Like I'm excited to say that I'm gonna be graduating this spring, which is amazing. So like this means that I'm gonna be stepping towards the real world when I get my degree. So it's like, okay, I gotta figure out I'm doing the best of my life. I gotta make sure it's my last, make this senior year of my college the best year I've ever had, even with COVID that's going on.
My resolution is nowhere near as motivational and as heartwarming as yours, Brian. I think that's an amazing one. It's really difficult for seniors, and I think of my brother who's a senior in high school too, and like not having his junior or senior prom graduation might not be the same. It is difficult, so that is a really good one. Mine is lame. I would like to kick my Snapchat addiction. I spend this was last week. I spent 16 hours. Oh, that's just one day. I'm sorry. That's today. Is that today? No, that's my average. I average 16 hours on Snapchat a day. There's 24 hours in a day. So explain to me how that works. That's my New Year's resolution. I really want to get off. I don't know.
So many things to do on there.
When I'm driving, I'm really bad at using my phone when I drive.
Oh my God, you're Michael. You're. This is like secrets revealed.
It's not. I've told you. You've seen me text to drive. I think before.
Oh my God,
it's bad. But no, usually a lot of it's.
You have to lock your phone in your glove compartment while you're driving. I think that's the thing.
But I found out, not that anyone cares about this at all, but I found that I was using my phone a lot less when I drive when I wouldn't wear my Apple Watch, because when I had my Apple Watch on, I would feel it vibrate. And if I don't have that on, I'm not looking at my phone when it's down here. It's not like I'm just checking it. I would check it because I knew I got something. So I try not to wear it when I drive. I've been wearing my.
So is your resolution then going to be very specific enough? Like I want to decrease my Snapchat by.
I want to be done. I want to get
hours a day. You're going to get off Snapchat altogether.
I feel like if most of the things that I send on Snapchat all day long, however many stupid people I Snapchat, not stupid people, but when it's just a picture of like your forehead that I'm sending back and forth, what am I getting out of that? I'm not like actually talking to people on it. If you really need to talk to me, you can call me or text me. I don't know. It's just it's an issue. I spend too much time on it.
I ended every single person who would just send me their forehead, and now I only talk to one person on Snapchat.
Yeah, that's what I want to try and do because
it feels great. You don't have to worry about it. It's just one person.
It's
great.
Like private thing. Like you got your private. You don't have. It's not like Instagram or Facebook. Like you just add a friend. You just have to add.
I like a bunch of people too. Doing some cleaning out. That should be my resolution.
That was the first step. I tried to do the cleaning out thing, thinking that would kind of limit it down, but it didn't work. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I took well over 100 people off my Snapchat.
I envy that. I envy both of you.
So good. It took me a while. It took me a few days.
I cleaned up my Instagram. I'm trying to lower my number of following people I have just because it's like, what's the
That's what
point
I'm
of following?
doing.
You know, like just lower them.
I wanted to do it earlier in the year, but then I was like, oh, I'm gonna be laid up in bed after I have my tonsils out. I need someone to talk to. This isn't a good time to do it. So that's why I kind of pushed it off. Now we're kind of trying to do it for the New Year's. So that's enough
Yeah.
about me. I'm sorry, but yes, mine is Snapchat.
My resolution is to make a feature film by the end of 2021, and Keith is gonna love me for that because it'll probably be for his classes. So you better hold me to it, Keith,
Why are you so close to the camera?
because I mean business.
I do find on some Zoom calls that when I'm more interested in the conversation, I start to lean forward like I'm more interested. But Lionel, do you usually make a resolution though, like just during normal times?
Yeah.
And what would they be in the past?
I think when I was 16, it was probably like get a girlfriend and like or like have my first kiss. That's pretty much all I can remember.
Okay.
They're usually not that memorable. I think maybe at one point I was like, don't drink for a whole year, but that you know, you know.
I don't even know if I've ever made a New Year's resolution. Should this be the year to start?
Yeah, I've never made one either.
Yeah,
Hey,
Keith.
This
I
is
think
my first.
your resolution should be something like have Lionel move in or make Lionel my best friend.
Lionel, I'm hoping that Macy gave the list of people that were performing on New Year's. Lionel, will you be performing on home this year? Can we
Yeah,
go to a streaming service for that? And what will you be performing?
Kayla and I will be performing a live episode of Gilbert and Ava, and it's going to be the Gilbert and Ava New Year's special. And Keith, you're going to be mandated to pop in at one point
Special
and say,
guest?
"What a holy mess!"
Oh my God.
When I submitted this is totally not related to anything we're doing right now. When I submitted my final cut of Tough All Over in 110, I made a version where I intentionally used like the whatever that audio of the guy who like did not fit like the what do they call those people?
What people? An extra? A
Yeah,
stand-in?
whatever. Like the person who you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, the stand-in that was reading the lines off camera.
Yes. So I made a really stupid version with all the stand-ins, and then I accidentally submitted that as my final for Ashton, and she gave me a 90.
Oh my God. Well, I can't comment on these things. I was just commenting on New Year's resolutions. What should my New Year's resolution be? It doesn't have to do with, if it's not have to do with Lionel, what should it be?
Make a sequel to Tough All Over.
No.
Done. I did that.
Wait,
Next.
you did?
It's secret. It's on the dark web. Yeah.
Can you finish? Here, how about this?
I need to finish it. How about Lionel? I'm holding you responsible. You need to make me finish that movie.
Okay,
Lionel,
Keith.
I'll act in it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is going to be the collab of the century. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
So no one probably knows what we're talking about right now. That's fun, unless you took film 110.
Keith Brown is a great filmmaker, and he made a really excellent film called Tough All Over. It's a heartwarming 80s high school comedy drama about young love, and everybody should go see it.
Go see it.
Yeah, go watch it live in the
Go
Google
watch
Live.
it. All the theaters are closed.
Go watch it on Keith's Vimeo.
Oh my God. Brian, what was your
You
resolution?
went first.
Oh,
Now I already forgot because we sidetracked so much.
That pretty much that's what Brian's New Year's resolution was. He wanted amnesia of the year of 2020.
That's right,
yeah,
amnesia.
like, just forget about what, not just that, but anything that happened before then, because it's a new life,
Oh, yeah.
But you guys, when you make a resolution, is it something that you're supposed to have control over, or is it something that can be you're powerless to?
I don't know,
You
but
have control over it.
You what? You have control
You
over it?
have control over it. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna work out more." Like you have control
I'm
over
gonna
it.
work out more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
That's-
everyone's in the workout. But
Okay.
one of my things I kind of want to do for 2021 is I might start something with a good friend of mine. Like we might have like maybe podcasts, like YouTube, Instagram, like just about friendships. That's kind of like my idea for 2021. It might happen this summer when I graduate, or who knows when. But that's kind of hoping hopefully, it starts.
Well, that's cool.
Keith, can we make a podcast about our friendship?
All right. On that
I knew
note,
you were gonna go there.
Macy, do you have anything else to add to your New Year's little chit chat?
I do not.
What's say your resolution?
Mine?
Yeah, what's yours?
I would have to say mine is trying to. This is gonna sound like kind of like pathetic, but I'm trying to be more motivated. Like I'm trying to wake up earlier. Like today, I woke up for my 9:30, logged off my 9:30 around like 10:30, when class ended, and I literally went back to bed. Like
And
I
then
want to
did
be
you just-
motivated. I want to get
Did
up
you
and
just get up at 5:59?
No, I actually got up at like 12. Oh my god, there's a spider on my ceiling. Anyway, I got up at like 12 and my roommate got up around like 3.
I think it's very hard to be motivated now.
It is very hard to be motivated right now because I don't have any more work to do for my classes. I finished it all like last week.
Yeah.
So,
I can give you something if you really need to spend your time. And Macy, I have to say, I like when you move and the light shining behind you makes it look like a 1980s class photograph. I just want to say that.
Okay. Well, listen, I have to say, Macy, I agree with that. I through like the first lockdown, there was nothing to do, but I was still trying to like get up every day, like get dressed. I've just resorted to like my flannel pants every day. I haven't put on like clothes in ever. Well, I mean, I have clothes on, but
yes, I've been in these all day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We don't need to see.
You know what they say, clothes make the man.
All right, Lionel. Oh my God, I'm so uncomfortable. Okay, so with that being said, I think we've covered all of our topics for today. There's a lot going on. Hopefully, us as a group have been able to kind of guide you through this difficult 2020, being that this is the last episode of this season. I can say it's been such a pleasure to work with Lionel, Brian, and Macy. They're all wonderful. And our special guests, well, unfortunately, we're missing Amelia tonight. She's been wonderful. She's practically part of our group. Keith, you did pretty good. And anyone else who's been involved? Natalie did it one night. Thanks, Natalie. All the special shout outs. But that's going to be it. Thank you so much for joining us this season. And who knows, maybe we'll see you again sometime. Take care.